Afternoon, as you know, Asby Driver Joe, and this video is: can you claim holiday pay off Delta? So at one point in the previous past, Delta was one of the biggest private hire firms in not just the UK, but it was actually one of the biggest private hire firms in Europe as a whole. Now, I've been reading some posts from smaller firms. Now, as you all know, I'm not a fan of Delta anyway. I don't like the way they treat the drivers. I don't like the way they say you can't work for other firms and so on and so forth. It's just not my cup of tea. It's one of them, isn't it? But anyway, to the point, can you claim holiday pay off Delta? Me personally, I think this would be a really, really, really easy case to win if you went to court. Now, unfortunately enough, I weren't at Delta long enough. It wouldn't be worth my while, my time. And this is something. Now, another thing with the taxis at the moment, so there is a union. I'm not part of that union. I don't like the way the union works. I'm not a fan of it. They seem more like I just don't like them. Not a fan of the way they work. I feel like they try to strong arm taxi operators, like what they done to Uber. Don't get me wrong, it has worked in the drivers' favours, but has it worked on the drivers' favours on a whole? I don't think it has. But if the agency adds any, if the union adds any sense, they'd be taking Delta to court next. They'd find a couple of drivers with a chip on the shoulder with Delta, and I really don't think that'd be hard to find. If you're a Delta driver, ex-Delta driver really, with a chip on your shoulder, and you were working with Delta for a long time, let me know in the comments. I'm actually going to tag the union this, and I'm going to tag Delta themselves. Now, with Uber, as you know, so you can work Uber, you can work on other operators as well. Uber don't care. They're like one of the most self-employed taxi companies going. They don't care if you work for them or work for Delta, work for Blue Line, work for Alpha. They don't care. They've got no opinion on it whatsoever. But then you get companies like Delta, which is, it's a great one. I can remember when I first started working with Delta. As you know, I never say working for, it's always working with, because you are self-employed. But anyway, so Delta was the very, 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 very first taxi company who worked with. They give me a piece of paper with a spiel on it about football, and footballers only play for one team. Wrong, Delta, you're wrong. Football players don't. I don't know much about football, but I know this. Some players play for England and some players play for Liverpool. So you can play for more than one team. But because these have basically strong-armed you to only work for them, that's like an employer. So they're treating themselves as an employer and you as an employee. So I don't think it'd be really hard for the union to grab a couple of lads, take them to court, and I think it'd be an easy case to win. Without a doubt, I know taxi drivers that were driving for Delta for 20, 30 years. That'd be a nice chunk of cheddar, that. But yeah, Delta's getting worse and worse. They've actually blocked me. They've blocked me on Twitter, on all three of my Twitter accounts. Not because I'm being nasty to Delta, never said anything bad, but when they put something up, I normally give them my point of view, even though you don't have to listen to my point of view. No one has to listen to my point of view. You don't have to listen to my point of view. But at the end of the day, they block me. Instead, as any normal person will, well, we think you're wrong because of this. They don't, they just block you because they know you're right. So let's get going. Let's see how this plays out. Like I said, I am going to tag the union. I am going to tag Delta in this as well. I want to see if there's any backlash after this. Right, if you're a passenger, try using smaller firms than Delta. Don't be using them. Try companies like C4, Blue Line. There's plenty out there. Your own local firms. Try using them. Take the power away from these big firms. Delta, like I said, it's a terrible company to work with. They treat the drivers like on the shoe. And I think they're feeling it now. For all them years treating the drivers nasty, I think they are starting to feel it, which is good. It'll make them book their ideas up, and that's what it's about. I don't want Delta to go bust, I really don't, but I want them to book their ideas up. I want them to treat drivers better. I want them to treat passengers better. I've got taxis before Uber, and so you'd phone the Delta, you'd say be here in 15 minutes, 20-30 minutes would pass, and they'd go, it'll be there when it's there, with an attitude. This is it. These are the bread and butter. These are the people that's making your wage. So you've got to be nice to them. You've got to treat them with respect, and that's how it works. If you went to a restaurant, you ordered something, they brought you something else out, so you ordered a steak, you got a chicken, the restaurant wouldn't say, well, you get what you're given, would they? They'd go and sort it out and apologise. And this is it. Delta need to book their ideas up, but that's me. It is me done. Right, love yous and leave yous. If you're not already, please subscribe to listen to more of my rubbish rants. If you haven't already, give us the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. That is me done. Need to get a wash, a bath. Been in that dirty house, but I've got to go. Bye.